First I did 4 times 1/3, which you keep the denominator of 3, but I multiplied 1 by 4 on the top, so it would equal 4/3, which is improper because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So you have to change it to 1 whole and 1/3, since 4 is 1 more than 3, so you have to keep the 1/3 and make it 1 whole.
So now you have to do 50 100ths plus 3 100ths equals 53 100ths.
First you have to model 6/10. Then 6 pennies, which are 600. Oops, 700. Then you have, but you cannot add these. You can't do that. Not do that. Because they don't have common denominator. So you have to times that by 10. And that by 10 to equal, that equals 60, even though you can't see that very well, and that equals 100, so it's 60 plus 6 and 100, and 60 100ths plus 6 100ths. So you can now plus it to get 66 100ths. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66.
Flowers. Mr. Woznicki has already planted 4 complete rows of sunflowers and 6 sunflowers in the 5th row.
I thought the answer was B, 46 100ths.
I agree with John because I added 40 100ths plus 6 100ths equals 46 100ths.
I agree with John, Grace, and Emma. But another way to do it is the denominator is 100, so it's 100 gosh. And then there's 40 tenths, and then 6 ones.
I agree with everyone because before I circled an answer, I drew a picture and of 4 rows and 6 in the 5th row, and I found out that the answer was 46 100ths.
40 100ths plus 6 100ths equals 46 100ths.
I agree with Michaela because you can't add 2 different denominators, so you have to make it so you have the common denominators.
I need to find the sum of 9 100ths and 5 tenths. Explain the steps I should take to do this.
First, I multiplied the fraction of 5 tenths with the numerator and the denominator by 10. That equals 50 100ths. I know because the denominators on 5 tenths aren't the same as 9 hundredths, so I can't add them. Next, you add 9 100ths to 50 100ths. And you couldn't add them before because they didn't have like denominators, and that equals 59 100ths.
I started with the hundredths grid and added 5 tenths and 9 100ths. to equal 59 100ths.
As you can see, we all got the same answer by using equivalent fractions and common denominator.
Inter-L choir is preparing for the concert at the Bush Dome. There are 100 members of the choir. They will be standing on the risers in 10 rows with 10 students in each row. 7 rows are completely filled in. There are 4 students on the 8th row. What fraction represents the number of students on the risers at this point?
I think there is 74 100ths of students on the risers because I do a picture to show and I wrote, I made 7 full rows and 4 kids in 1 row, and it shows that there's 74 kids in 1 row. And so
I agree with Oliver because it says there's 7 rows completed and filled in. So I knew that there are 7 tenths, and 4 100ths. So I multiplied 7 tenths times 10 equals 70 100ths. So I could add 70 100ths plus 4 100ths. I got 74 100ths because what I did was I looked at the problem and I saw that there was 7 rows filled and each row had 10 kids. So I did 10 times 7, which got me 70. And then also it said on the 8th row there was 4 more kids. So I had to do 70 plus 4 and I got 74. And then the total of kids in choir is 100. So I knew the answer was going to be 74 100ths.
I already know that 74 100ths of the students in inter-L choir are on the risers. The question is, what fraction of students have not yet climbed onto the risers?
The fraction of students that haven't been on the risers is 26 100ths. Because if you count from 74 and you add 6 more, that's 80, and then you add another 10 and then another 10, the leftover would be then the other 26 would be here over that have not been on the risers.
Another way to get to the answer would be to get a whole and subtract 74 100ths and to get 26 100ths.
I also did 100 minus 74 to get 26. So that's how I also knew that 26 was the leftover.
I found my answer, the way I checked my answer was I know that 75 plus 25 equals 100. So if I just took 1 away from 75, which would make it 74, and added it to the 25, it would make 26, and it would still equal 100.
I used 100 bucks and 5 tens to show 5 tenths or 50 100ths equals 1 half.
Feldman asked each student to bring in 25 hundredths of a dollar for a field trip. Greta brought in 1/2 of a dollar. Darren brought in 1/10 of a dollar. Parker brought in 1/4 of a dollar. Who brought exactly the right amount?
I think Parker brought in the right amount of money because when I modeled 1/4 of phase 10s, it showed 25 hundredths, which was what Mrs. Feldman asked for.
I think Parker brought in the right amount because 4 quarters equals $1 and 1 quarter equals 25 cents.
I agree with Bella because you can prove that 1/4 equals 25 100ths because 25 times 4 equals 100 and 1 times 4 equals 4.
I need to find the sum of 9 100ths and 5 tenths. Explain the steps I should take to do this.
this is 5/10. And this would be 9/100ths, but you can't add different denominators that have to be the same. So you would turn this into 50/100ths, and to add them together, you would just get the 9 and add it to the 50.
As you can see, Griffin is right. We cannot add 9/100ths and 5/10ths because they do not have a common denominator with both fractions. So we have to change 5/10ths to 50/100ths because they're the same fraction, so you can change that. And so 5/10ths as 50/100ths plus 9/100ths equals 59/100ths.
From what I've heard, the answer is 59/100ths, and you can't add unlike denominators. The answer is 59/100ths. But as you can see here, I've modeled base in base 10 blocks, and I have 3/10ths and 45/100ths.
2/10 plus 5/100ths equals 25/100ths.
9/100ths plus 5/10ths. So 5/10ths is 50/100ths, or a half of 100ths, and then you add it up with 9/100ths, and then 59/100ths is your answer.
First, I knew that you couldn't add 5/10ths and 9/100ths because they didn't have the same denominator. So I had to convert 5/10ths to 50/100ths, and then I added 50/100ths and 9/100ths to get 59/100ths.
In order to find the common denominator, it needs to be equivalent fraction like 5/10ths and 5/100ths.
5/10ths and
50/100.
5/10ths and 50/100ths. Very good.
First, you have to simplify 3/10ths. Multiply the 3 and 10 by 10 to get 30/100ths. Then add 30/100ths and 45/100ths to get 75/100ths. You ran 75/100ths, which also equals 3/4.
Times 3 by 10, and 10 by 10, and draw a 100ths flat. And 3 times 10 equals 30, and 10 times 10 equals 100. So then you can add 45 plus 30, which equals 75.
You could simply just take 45 and then multiply 3 times 10 and 10 times 10 to equal 30/100. So 45/100 plus 30/100 equals 75/100, which I know is 3/4 because 75 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25 equals 75. And if you add another 25, then that would be 100. So it equals 3/4.
In addition to that, I just did the base 10 blocks. The 3 orange bars is the 3/10ths, de-simplified to be 30/100ths. The blue bars and this color of thing is the 45/100.